กินโคนก่อนโอเคเอาฟ้องไหม
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the lights so you can see, without too much reflection. Okay, just give it a minute now. See who's coming on. Okay, right. Okay, first one on here is Stephen. Stephen Coates. Hiya, mate. Well done on the team coming second yesterday. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a turn up. I suppose you've seen the vlog, have you? Yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about that now in a minute. Neil Smith. Hiya, mate. How are you? Okay, yeah. We're what can I say? I mean, this week it's we needed some rain. We had a bit, but it didn't last long, did it? It sort of lasted just like, drizzle really more than anything rather than a downpour, which is a shame really, because I think the rivers needed it, didn't they? Kevin Rogers. Hi, Clive. Which of your ground weights do you recommend for the lower Warwickshire Raven? Okay. Yeah, I'll answer that one then straight away now, Kevin. Yeah. Well, as you probably, I don't know if you know Russell Millwall, but he's doing rather well. Brian Jones, they're using my Bream mix. And of course, on the lower Avon, you got Bream, haven't you? As well as skimmers and roach. But the Bream mix, that's one I recommend. I call it Black Bream, but I also do another mix called Laxative. Wrote about it before, about adding extra ingredients like salt, mainly salt, to help the fish digest it quicker, and the fish come back over the ground weight, because a lot of fish which are grazing fish, such as bream and carp and that, they'll eat the ground weight, won't they, rather than the bait you're offering. So the idea is so they're almost like cows in a sense, in a field. They'll keep on eating and eating, and and basically, if you spook them or the fish, they'll swim off, but they come back and they're always grazing, always looking, and that's the reason I put together that laxative ground bait. So that was a little tip and secret I learned from the Dutch team going back 20 odd years. I went into the ground bait shop because I mentioned before, in Holland, you actually go into a tackle shop and you buy your own ingredients and you mix your own ingredients depending on the type of fish and swim you're going to fish. Something we don't do over here. We buy them already pre-packed, don't we? So anyway, that was the technique. Anyway, they put a lot of salt. The amount of salt they put in is unbelievable, but it created like a laxative. And anyway, mine's a fish meal based with wheat, obviously breadcrumbs, and also quite a bit of salt. Now, my black bream is something else, because the black bream mix I started when I started fishing Port Talbot Dock in South Wales, and there were bream there, but there was also roach. And we know bream like the fish meal, but roach like something sweeter, like aniseed. And aniseed is a fabulous attractant for for roach. So as a little sort of experiment, I mixed it together. And whoa, lo and behold, I've got loads of fish. In fact, some of the lads, that's all they use. Richard Candy, which I've got to mention. Now, Richie, there's got to be some sort of record, I'm sure, right? He has won 54 matches this year. Unbelievable. I mean, he does fish a lot. He fishes Wednesdays, he fishes Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. And they're not big opens, but they're small club matches. And he has won 54 of the matches using my ground bait. So I'm going to put a little, I'm going to mention Richie. Richie's a little bit older than me, and Richie's been around longer than me, but class angler. Unfortunately, he don't fish the opens now because of his arthritis. But he swears by the black bream mix. He uses the slop sometimes to catch the ground bait, to catch the roach. Obviously the bream and mullet moving on it as well. So he does very, very well. So that's what I would recommend, definitely down on, on the lower Avon. Russell Millward, he's, as you know, I don't know if you know him, but he hadn't won a match for 20 odd years. And then all of a sudden he won a couple. So, I'm not saying the ground bait's the be end and end all of catching lots of fish, because obviously there's other things to come into it, isn't it? Into your technique and your feeding and so on. But definitely recommended. And I do sell quite a lot. I don't advertise it now. I used to, but I get loads of, quite these people always messaging me, can I send them a pack? And what I do, £25 is the minimum order, and that'll give you 6 or 7 bags, and that's a free delivery then, because the delivery costs me 6 or 7 quid. So anyway, thanks for asking, and that's a good plug that was for me then. All right. Right, okay. Oh, Stephen, what's your favorite style of float for hemp fishing? Right, now, I've got to admit, when I was young, I mean, when we first started fishing hemp, we used to get these lightning bites, and the more sensitive the float, the better, because the more sensitive, the fish actually, roach will actually get it down to the flang teeth and spit it out quicker than you can blink an eye, and you'll miss a lot of bites. Because they feel the hook, don't they? And then out, if you're lucky enough, it'll hook them. But a lot of now, if you use a very sensitive float, they will keep it down there. Okay. Now we used to use Stillwater Blues in them days, and that's very fine nylon tips, and they were excellent. And we used to paint them black, fishing, with a white background, if you like. And we fish a little waggler, a whip. And it would sail away. The bites would sail away. And the secret though is when the float sails away quickly, don't automatically jump at it. You just slowly pull into it, okay? Because otherwise you'll miss more bites. So now, over the last couple of years, hemp has come onto its own on the Warwickshire Avon, and I studied a couple of the top anglers who do exceptionally well, and Ian Shepherd in particular, he's in the money frame section, wins every time. And I spoke to him, and I've talked to him, and I've had a look at his tackle, and he uses very light 4x14 floats, very light, usually strung out rather than than a bulk, because with a bulk, I think the fish will feed it. Because what you've got to try and do is create a natural drop presentation. So a nice light hook, very light stots I use. Fall into the water, and that's when you'll attract the fish and get the bites, and that is the secret. Also feeding as well. You've got to bear in mind that you've got to imagine how many fish you've got in front. If you've got a big shoal, then you can quite feed a lot, but if not, half a dozen grains at the most. So there's a little tip. Anyway, very light floats. I do make a couple. I call them Avon floats. I haven't made any last year. In fact, I still got a couple left over from last year, which reminds me I might have to make a couple anyway, because I'm going to concentrate on the Warwickshire Avon for the next few matches now, because I haven't qualified this year yet because I haven't fished any. I've had other things in mind, as you know. My wife from Thailand came over and the baby, and I really done a lot of fishing, so now I'm going to get back into it. So I booked in for this Wednesday, next Saturday, Sunday. and then we got the veterans the week after, and then, as already mentioned, we qualified. If you've seen the vlog, you see we qualified for the team match, and that was a great achievement, I think, by the lads. We just missed out on the first match, only by a few points, but this time we actually come second, so that was fantastic. And our main attack is the hemp. Okay, so I hope that's answered your question. Right. Right, Stuart. Stuart, I am mate. Just returned from Holland after the best fishing I've had there in 17 years. £20 in one session. Oh, £206, is it? Oh, blimey, that's a good weight, that is. Yeah, Stuart. I mean, I used to fish Holland many years ago. We used to go and fish the festivals. Just go. Ray Baisley from the West Country used to organise matches, and of course, we used to always stop in Amsterdam, as you would, for an evening out. But yeah, some great fishing there. Bream, and they are, a lot of big rivers, big canals, canal type rivers, aren't they? A lot of it is feeder fishing and bream, and they do catch big weights. So yeah, that's well done. Good weight, Dan. Yeah, that's nice. I don't know if it was that in a match or was that just pleasure fishing, but it doesn't matter. Still a great weight, My best weight for bream, incidentally, was caught on a waggler, £133. And I had them in about 2 hours in a match, and then he disappeared. But yeah, you can soon build a weight up, can't you? With bream, because they're big, heavy things, and they. Okay. What's this? I just keep things simple. Loads of shredded wheat and brown crumb. There you are. Well, there you are. Exactly as I mentioned early on about the wheat-based ground weight. They do like that. So yes. Nice one, Stuart. Well done, mate. Yeah. Paul Chapman. I am Paul. How are you? Any ideas where to get decent hemp from? It's very small recently. Yeah. Do you know what? You're right there, Paul. I've had a look myself. I used to have a good connection, but they've see what's happening. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but the Chinese are sort of buying it all up, and they're using it for other and China, as you know, Chinese have got only 206 million people, and billion people in their country, so they use a lot of it with their herbs, with their medications and things like that. I think they're smoking it, but I think they're using it for other things. And of course, it's become quite scarce now in this country. And of course, with prices going up, and if you can get hold of any, then you see. It's a little tip. I did actually buy some, and it was rather small. And what I've done, I riddled it to try and get the best seeds out. And then with the finer seeds, I'll use it as I'll crush it up and mix it in with the ground meats that I mix. But that might be a little tip for you if you can't get the good quality hemp. Buy the sack and then riddle it off, and you could end up with a pint or two of good hookers and good feed particles as well. So you are right there, Paul. Right, who's this? Cats, this Fish and Wales. Pet shops for birds. Yeah, well, this is it. A lot of it is meant for birds. It's only the latter years the fishermen have used it, but yes, canaries and that sort of thing. Yeah, if you get a good pet shop, you might have to do a little bit of shopping around, though. You might be lucky enough, and if you do stumble on it, let us know. Because we're always looking for good quality hemp. I did have some hemp last year, but it was too big. It was the giant hemp, and I think it was too big. I think that because a lot of the roach we catch are only like the smaller versions, and of course if you use a big hemp. In fact, I was going through my tackle early on, and I got some giant hemp from preserved, and it's massive. It's almost as big as a tear, to be quite honest with you. So there you are. Anyway, who's this? Big Mike. What's this, Mike? FRAUD. Fraud. What's that? What's all that about? Right. I'm telling you the guy is no good. Who are you talking about, Mike? Right. It's clarification for this. I think we're being hacked here by some guy, so might have to remove him. Okay. Kevin, how do you prepare for your own crush temp? Right, that's a good question. Good question. Who's this talking about? Oh, right. Who's this? Big Mike, is it? Okay. Let's have a go. Yeah. It's the first time I've had this. Okay. Okay, right. I've got rid of this mic. He's seemed to gate crashed us a little bit. I haven't had this before. I don't know if any of the lads have had that before. Big Mike. Yeah, you always get some nutters, don't you? To be fair, in all walks of life, it looks so you've got one tonight. Anyway, don't worry. Right, Neil. Been fishing a while lately, Clive, but keeps getting bladdered by bleak. You would, yeah. Uses small pieces of worm and corn. Well, yeah, this time of the year, Neil, you will get a lot of bleak because they're abundant at the moment, and they do tend to, if you like, get to the bait first. And even if you put chunks of meat on, I've seen them where you get a big shoulder of it, like all attacking it, and your float's going like this with lumps of meat on. The only thing I can suggest, and which a few people have tried it, and that's fishing tares. Okay, they leave that alone. They might have a little nibble. And the other thing is pellet as well. Sometimes you can use a pellet, but again, you're going to get nibbled by them as well. So as I say, it's one of them things. Unfortunately, you could have two swims going. This is what we do sometimes, or we used to do, to try and keep the bleak away from your area. You can have two swims going. In other words, feed a cloud and a slop, sort of downstream or out a little bit away from where you're fishing, and that way that gets the bleak sort of going, to that center of the cloud of your ground bait, and that way you might avoid a few fish. So that's a little tip, Neil. So that, as I say, that's something you could try. Right, Kevin, how do you prepare your own crush temp, Clive? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right, Kevin. Well, basically, I've got you can use a blender, a liquidizer like you do with bread. Okay, you can put bread in and you can blend it, and you can do the same with hemp. What you may have to do is just to sieve it maybe afterwards. But if you, what I do, I put in a blender and I actually shake it a little bit, and that will give you a nice crushed hemp. And of course, you can mix that, and it does give an effervescent to the ground bait. Then, if you mix it with crumb and other things, So yeah, okay. Right then, let's have a look. Free speech. How do you think? All right. Oh, we got some right nutters on you today. We got a James Wong. we won't wing about Wong. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. Right. First time I've been hacked like this, lads. So it's going to be hard to answer some of the questions. Let me just. Okay. Sorry, it's a marvelous thing. Yeah, a lot. On the internet these days, you can actually do. You can blank out and block a lot of scammers. I don't know if you get it with the fishing lads. It always starts off saying, "Hi, how are you?" And you know damn well what's coming next. Or they usually say, "Have you heard?" In other words, they're trying to con you, and what they're doing, they're hacking some the fellow anglers' websites, or Facebook pages, and they're trying to get you to get involved in things, Well, there you go. Anyway, right. What's the why is he a fraud? Blah blah blah. Oh, what's going to be block someone for not agreeing with him? Oh, who's that? I don't know. Somebody's just messing us around today, lads. Sorry about that. Right, cast is fishing. Yes, we get it all the time. Yeah, yeah. Okay. You need modes. Right. All right. Okay. Listen. I probably the way it's going. I might not be able to answer your questions because I am being hacked by a few guys coming on here at the moment, and they're talking a lot of bollocks, a lot of rubbish. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to talk about my angling news, by the way, this week. I just launched the August edition, which is covers July, in fact, and it's quite interesting. Um, I have to first of all, my condolence to a very good angler. You may have heard of Topper Haskins, Mervyn Haskins, his name was, and he basically was one of the best anglers from the West Country. Um, he designed it. He didn't design the Avon, by the way, but he was so successful with the Avon, and he used to make the Avon floats. You know, the cork and croakquill. The they named a lot of people named the float the Topper float because it was marvelous what he used to be able to do with that float. I used to watch him when I was a youngster on the Bristol Avon, and you know he would catch fish when nobody else would. It was almost like instant fishing. If you ever fish an Avon in deep water, you know on the Bristol Avon, it goes down quickly because it's bulked, and you got your couple of dropper shots, and it goes down quick, and you're instantly fishing it. Now he used to catch bream on the bread as well, which was quite an interesting technique methods in them days, and he used to win a lot of matches. In fact, I was talking to Richie, talked about Richie earlier, and we were talking about Topper, and he remembers Topper qualifying for like a couple of the main events, you know, in years gone past. So, as I say, condolence to his family. Loss of a great angler. I mean, he was probably in his 80s, late 80s, mid 80s. So, you know, life expectancy these days, what is it, mid 80s? So there you go. But as I say, we got to look at the his memory, and it was fantastic, and what he's left to fishing. He taught a lot of youngsters, apparently, from the West Country. You know, a lot of his funeral's coming up this week. I was told it's going to be quite a big turnout. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it, but it's probably over in Bristol. You know, that area. Okay. Oh, I got something. Yeah, discussing this. I know from what I can see, the moron is knocking you for having a Thai wife. Oh, is he? I didn't know that. Uh, you know, well, anyway, listen, like Walter's on a duck back. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, these people who try to muscle in on other people's acts. So, yeah. Okay, right then. So that's as I say, Top Raskins. That's a sad day, you know, him passing. Also, another angler, well, more of an actor really, was Bernard Cribbins. And Bernard, he done a lot for fishing, of course. He done a lot for, you know, to promote the fishing. Um, I don't think he was a brilliant angler, but I think he admitted that, but he enjoyed it, you know. And it's nice to see some of these famous people taking up fishing because it highlights fishing and possibly people take it up because of it, you know. So, Kevin again. I remember. Oh, you remember top of fishing the two meadows at the witch. Oh, the witch Haven at Evesham. Okay. Next peg was Johnny Sherwood. Fantastic display of float fishing. Oh, I tell you what, I wish I could. I wish I could have saw that, Kevin. I thought I bet that would have been brilliant. Yeah, you know. Well, so I know Johnny Sherwood was famous for his stick float, and Topper with his Avon float. That would have been a real clash of giants. That would have been. Yeah. Hmm. So anyway, as I say, angling news just come on. It's only $5.99, lads. Full of good stuff this month. In fact, I've had a nice article from Billy Makin. Billy, who's in Thailand at the moment, he's you know he still writes articles, and he's actively writing another book, so that'd be interesting. so he took the time out and wrote an article for me. So that was quite good. I've also got a couple of other anglers. Julian Cundiff, he's a nice guy, he's a carp angler, not a match angler, but he's put he's allowed me to copy his posts, and so I put an article, and I put it next to old Dick Walker. Now, I don't know if the lads remember Dick Walker, but he was a great angler in his day. Did hold the carp record, didn't he? After many years, and I got some old articles which I put into the magazine as well. So it's definitely worth a read. Anything you can learn from fishing from the old masters, it's definitely worth it. So I've got a junior page and a veterans page. The juniors, by the way, they've under 18, so they've all gone off to Hungary this week, ready for the international. So that'll be interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Keep you posted on that. See how they get on. Jeff Cooper, a lad from Ireland. He actually lived in England, and now he's in Ireland. I think he's retired, but he's writing some articles for me, and it's quite interesting. He's a good writer, and the last one was about the sliding float, and how he caught tench, and so yeah, definitely worth a view. Right, I got the ladies as well. They got a huge. They had an international national event, and it was a big turnout. Talk about ladies. I mean, with the football and now the fishing, they're doing very well, aren't they? So I've got a few pages of the ladies in the magazine as well. Bob Nudd, of course. Bob, we got a few pages of Bob. I don't know if you know the story, but basically he went on holiday. He didn't compete in the veterans, personal issues with his health, a bit of arthritis. So he popped off to Spain for a couple of weeks, and he's come back and he's on fire. He's winning, he's winning loads of matches and that. In fact, I don't know if Bob's actually watching this, but a couple of lads have got to thank Bob because, as I mentioned earlier, we come second in the Evesham team qualifier yesterday, and all the lads fish it. And the one lad in particular, Ivan Curry, was telling me that he not struggled, but he found it slow in hooking hemp. So what he done, he actually spent the time and hair rigged 30 pieces of hemp. But it's a bit of a lesson because he said he wished he'd done a few more because he'd run out with about an hour to go. So he had to hook the hemp, the natural way. But basically, you just put a bit of cotton, thread a bit of cotton through the hemp, and you hook the cotton, and that comes like, if you like a hair rig. And anyway, Bob actually wrote an article, or he put an article up on the Facebook, and people have copied him. So yeah, so well done. Thanks, Bob, for that, for the lads, and I'm sure that's going to catch on big time now. Okay, all right. The other things I've got to talk about, I'm very keen. I keep an eye on the river states, the state of the rivers and the pollution. And it's really bad reading about a lot of the rivers lately. Of course, it doesn't help when we haven't had much rain and the oxygen levels, and there's a lot of fish dying. I posted a little clip on about the River Wye the other day. A couple of canoe anglers, not anglers at all, but they're going down the river and they're seeing all these dead fish in the water. So, which is a bit of a shame, really. But it doesn't help, of course, when you got the chicken farms and all the nitrates going in the water. So that's going to take oxygen out of the water, as well as the natural dispersion of oxygen, through heat anyway. So anyway, so if, as I say, if you if you're a keen advocate and follower of pollutions and that, then obviously I've written about 3 or 4 pages about it, and it'd be great if you got the time to actually get hold of an MP and help the movement. I know the Angling Trust are doing a lot. The Angling Trust are fighting it a lot, and if you're not a member of Angling Trust, I'd certainly recommend. It's not a lot to join, is it? You know, with a 30 quid a year, something like that, or do it monthly like me. It's only about 2 quid a month, I think. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, hello, waiting. Oh, am I? I don't know. I got this Fat Howie. It's a good name, is Fatty Howie. Yeah. He's come on again. I don't know what he's talking about it, but I've offered to help. What's going on? Yeah. Well, let me just. I'll just block him a minute. Sorry about this, lads. Just a bit of technical stuff going on here. Oh, Happy Angler. Nice to see you. Nice to see you on here. Yeah, hi, mate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm having a bit of problems tonight. I've had a couple of hackers coming on, and for some reason they talk a lot of rubbish. I don't know what they're talking about. Of course, it's in a sense it's destroying a little bit for the for the anglers. Okay. Got another one coming on now. Oh. This is something I will have to try and yeah, another one's come up for you now. Okay. Right. So anyway, let's get back to the report. So yeah, no, I've got to say as well, young Christian Jones, fantastic what he's done, young lad. He's gone and won 50 grand, which is really great, isn't it? You know, on the commercial matches, it's something I've always been tempted to look at, but I've never, you know, of course, when you got money like that, you know, then obviously, you know, it's definitely worth considering, you know, entering a couple of these, like, you know. Right, okay. I got another one now. Bill Dobb Farley, whoever he is. Yeah, okay. As I say, sorry about this, lads, but I've got to somehow get rid of him. Yeah. So yeah, that was fantastic. Apparently, it was on the one of the TV programs was Channel 4, and they were talking about it, and there was really a good head-to-head going on, and he managed to come through and actually you know won. So 50 grand is not a nice little, you know, it's almost like winning 2 years' wages when you think about it, you know. So fantastic. I don't know what he's going to do with the money. What would you do with 50 grand? Suppose, yeah, you wouldn't stop fishing. I mean, you know, but just spend it wisely. That's what I would say. Happy Angler. Clive Noman still going? Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I tell you what, I'm just saying now, oops, we've had a little bit of, if you like, with the Cardiff Nomads over the years. All the older anglers have either, you know, passed away or they've stopped fishing, and we never had any youngsters come through. And we had a fellow called Mike Martin Davis, and I handed over to him basically the running of the club. And fair dues, he done a great job. He pulled in a few anglers from the West Country, renamed the Cardiff Nomads Census Nomads, because obviously there's only about 2 or 3 of us left from Cardiff who actually fishing in the club now. Most of them are from over the border, which is the West Country, Gloucester, and Hereford. So so that's why we changed the name, but they're still going, and we've had a little resurgent. There's a few of them joined, and yesterday we come second in the in the Evesham qualifying team match. So we'll be there at the final on the Evesham weekend. So that'll be good. There's one or two of us have qualified for the individual. So I'm going to go up there now, the next few matches, what's left, and I'm going to see if I can try and qualify for them. It's going to be a bit of a task because I'm out of touch with it at the moment. But we'll see. Yeah, so they're still going, and just keep an eye on the channel because I'll be coming out every Monday reporting on how we've done and how fishing's generally going through the week anyway. Paul, I made got any more Riverfest tickets? Well, Paul, to be honest, I'm giving that a bit of a miss this year. Although saying that, I might enter one or two before the end of it. I think there's a few tickets have come up now. But I do find it, obviously this year has been a bit hard because, getting the wife over and the baby meant I've had to forego a lot of matches. As you know, I haven't been doing that many vlogs compared to what I were doing. So, but now I've settled down. I might, if I got a chance, I'll try and enter. I got to say, it's getting harder to qualify now. I qualified for the first 5 competitions, and since I've struggled a bit, but mainly because I don't concentrate and fish them all. I know a couple of lads fish every one, and they travel all over the country, cost them a fortune, but they still haven't qualified. So it's a little bit of lap in the lap of the gods sometimes. But yeah, something I'll look at, Paul. We'll see. Still got a few weeks left. Stephen George, do you ever watch the YouTube commercial fish experts like Jamie Hughes and Andy May? Well, I have watched them, to be honest, because as a team, Andy and Jamie together, they make good viewing, don't they? I didn't like the fact that they went promoting it. I think you had to buy a ticket, if you like, to actually view their to view them. I think since it's okay. I got another dickhead come on, Sizzly Baby, is it? I don't know. Yeah. Somebody else trying to crash in on our. Well, that's the first time for everything, isn't it? And it's good for me because I'm learning now how to remove them and get rid of these nuisance gate crashers, as I call them. Tell you what I will be doing. I'll be looking at them, and I'll be following them through and seeing where they come from. Yeah, because they don't know I'm pretty internet savvy myself, so I can quite easily disturb their peace, if you like. Neil Smith, well done on the team qualifying. Yes, thanks for the fan club. We look forward to it. All right, I hope you come along and see it. That'd be good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry about this. I got one or two others trying to come in onto this live chat. Okay, right. Coming back to the angling news as well. I've got all the results as well of the commercials and the canal matches in them. It's quite interesting reading. Same old faces, isn't it? Coming up all the time, aren't they? Right. I'm just gonna like that stuff. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I got another one. Another one to remove. It looks like I know it's the same person, or it's a couple of people trying to mess this live. Neil, isn't that used to? Let's see. All right. Okay. Right then. What else do we know? Right. I also do a little tips on my fishing tips. Also, there's a job search as well. People looking for jobs in the fishing industry. I do a little search and see if there's any jobs available, and there's a couple if you fancy working in the tackle industry. A couple of tackle shops are looking for part-timers and full-timers. So, yeah. Also, I do a product review as well. I'm looking at Daiwa. This month was about a reel, I think. Yeah, about one of their latest reels, and it's looks quite good. Bit pricey, I fancy though. Daiwa. I don't know what you think, lads. But because I brought some reels back from Thailand, and it cost me a tenner. They're as good as these £200 or £300 jobbies. Right. I also, in the magazine, I also do my float series. Basically, it's the float fishing magazine, which is now available, by the way. There you are. It's got a thick book. It's got 160 odd pages, all about fishing, floats, everything from, it's like an encyclopedia, everything from wagglers, sticks, all the way through to pole floats. I do diagrams on them as well, how to shot them, and it was, yeah. So yeah. So, but what I'm also doing as well is, obviously you can buy this from Amazon, but I've also included them in the angling news. Every issue I do a little feature on them, so that'll be interesting for people who want to follow it. Also, yes, that's right. This month is about the reverse pair, which is interesting. I also do a classified, people selling fishing tackle. Just got some fishing tackle for sale as well. Now this species, this month's species is about the chub, and there's a fully illustration picture of it, well, similar to the ones on the wall. I don't know if you see them. Yeah, so you can actually cut them out, put them in a frame, and you can collect the whole series. That's also in the magazine as well. So that's again, that's there as well. I also cover a little bit about the non-native species. Last issue was about the topmouth gudgeon, which is obviously becoming used. This month it's about the crayfish, and I've done a little bit of research, and I explain how you should dispatch them, and how you're not supposed to move them, by the way, and so on. But again, that's in there. I also do a bit of game fishing, sea fishing. Also do this month I've done a book review as well, a couple of books with Billy Makin and that, and so as I say, it's about 80 odd pages, $5.99, available from Amazon. So yeah, right. So have I got some decent questions coming? Oh, great book. Oh, thanks, Graham. Right, let's have a look. Neil, what's your next match, Clive? Yeah, right. What I've done, because we're now qualified for the final of the Evesham, my next 4 matches are going to be all up on the Warwickshire Haven. I'm going there this Wednesday. I've just booked in now, Saturday and Sunday, and then the following Wednesday is the Veterans. You're going to be over 60 to fish that, so I'll be fishing that. And then obviously, I hope if I can try and qualify for any, it would be great. I qualified most years. Last year, as you know, I came 4th in the Witch Haven. I just missed out on 3rd place by 1 ounce. Still worth 750 quid, that was, anyway. So, but it's nice to meet some of the guys who follow me on the blog. And by the way, I'd like to say hello to the guys who said hello to me this weekend. They told me they follow the vlogs, and and it's much appreciated. And it's nice to see and get to know a couple of the viewers who actually follow them. And they give me a little bit of feedback. So that's great. Okay. Happy Angler. I got Mountains of Course gear for sale. Press and pole. Never used it. Plus more. All right, mate. Well, I've got a Facebook page selling fishing tackle. You're more than welcome to put anything up on there. I did have somebody ask me, I don't know if you're into giving tackle away, but somebody messaged me the other day saying, did I have any, or do I know anyone who's got spare tackle for the youngsters? And that's always a good thing to do, if you get any spare tackle. I'll try and put a link up if I can, but yeah. But if you want money, if you want to sell them, then yeah, I've got a Facebook page. you could try match fishing, but I don't like selling on match fishing group. I've got 27,000 members on that, and I don't want to upset them by putting, turn it into a for sale, website or post, I should say. But I got one called Fishing Tackle, so you're more than welcome to put it on there. Pole floats any good for you? Oh yeah. Pole floats. Well, do you know? I used to have a great collection of pole floats given to me by the French anglers when I used to work for Water Queen, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. They're so handmade, so well made, handcrafted, and I'm talking about metal stems, metal bristles. So the only way to float to shot them is to actually use grease on the actual bristle to keep it up. They're so sensitive, absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, over the years they've dissipated and they're damaged and not used. So, but yeah, there's a lot of pole floats out. In fact, I was selling a couple on eBay. I sold a couple the other day. So yeah, pole floats. There's always someone looking for a pole float. Kevin, right. Of all the reels, dive, etc., do you prefer the old Abu closed faced? I certainly do. Yeah, to be honest, Kevin, I do. Yeah, closed faced. I come away from using my 501s recently. I'm using the later model 507s a little bit better, only because they're a bit smoother. The 501s now, if you've got a good one, they're worth their weight in gold. But a lot of them do become like coffee grinders, don't they? In the end, they start making noises, and you got to basically, grease them up well. And then, and if you can keep them, in good working order, then they're definitely a tool that I would use, and I'm sure a lot of other anglers. And of course, they're light fishing, if that makes sense. You can't really use them for ledgering, can you? Or like for catching big carp and chub. Although they will handle them, of course, but they're usually for the smaller fish, stick float, magnet fishing. Yeah, so that's brilliant. Who's this now? J. Kenny Dublin. I said, okay, all right. Somebody said hello, nice and polite, anyway, rather than all the bull I was getting earlier from a couple of hackers. But I don't know if anyone else has had that problem, having hackers on there. As I say, it destroys the fun for other anglers, then, doesn't it? Okay. Right. I've been on here nearly an hour, so I don't know if there's any more questions you want to fire away. As I say, a lot of anglers will come on here at a later, later on, and probably listen to what we were talking about. But as I say, it's been a funny old week. I'm back fishing now. Hopefully, the next few matches, the next few weeks, I'll be putting a few vlogs up. I'm trying my best with the camera angles. It's just that when you're fishing, you do tend to forget, because obviously you're concentrating on the fishing as well as talking to the camera. I have wired myself up, so and I'm trying to talk as I'm fishing, so I'm relaying to you exactly what's going on, and changes of methods and tactics, and hopefully I'll get better doing it. That's all I can say. So, as I say, if there's nothing else, no more questions to come through, then, as I say, nice to see you all again. Hopefully, I'll be back next year. I'll have next week. I'll have a few more things to talk about, because I'll be doing more fishing. At the moment, I'm doing some rigs, very fine hemp rigs. So I'll be concentrating on the hemp fishing. But it'll be Murphy's Law that. Come the match, come the weekend, the river will be up after floods, after rain, and that usually happens. So all this preparation, fishing the hemp, and that will all change probably on the weekend. But anyway, as I say, if you want to leave any comments, I'll try and answer them. If not, pop over to the match fishing group on Facebook. You're more than welcome to leave any views and questions. There's lots of anglers will besides myself, will answer any questions. And if you've got anything interested to say, then post them, and hopefully other anglers will view them and answer your questions. Okay. As I say, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next week, and hopefully I'll get the vlogs up. By the way, if you haven't seen this latest vlog, have a look at it. I've had to speed the camera up a few times because it's a bit boring just watching the float and me just sitting there. So, and there's not much to talk about during those times. So what I do, I actually speed the camera up so you can actually hopefully see more of the match, before it ends. Okay. What's the biggest match weight you've ever had? Neil. Okay, Neil, I'll answer that, Neil. Well, I suppose it's in Ireland. I fished the Blackwater when Sean 4 years name was. He was a brilliant angler on there. He did beat me, but I had in 3 matches. I had 144, 133, and 125 pole to hand catching roach. So those are my best weights, and that's I'm not talking about carp, but talking about just 8 to 10, 12 ounce roach. And that was my best. I've had 133-pound bream, as I mentioned before, in a match on a waggler. Had a couple of big weights on the Y, couple of 80 pounds and that. This year I've had just missed 100 pounds in it. I had 98 pounds, is it? Yeah. So yeah, that's some cracking. But of course, I'm not a commercial angler, and the commercial anglers you're talking about huge, massive weights, aren't you? Because they're big fish. I was reading last week, so 500 pound in a match. Cool, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Really. But there you are. Paul Chapman, is the missus setting? Yes, she is, Paul. She's she's meeting a few friends. Thai friends, and chatting away in their language, so in their lingo. So that's good. The baby's haven't been too well lately. She's had a bit of a chest infection. I think she caught her off me, to be honest with you, but trying to get her to take antibiotics. But I was going to take him fishing, but I promised them I will take him in the next couple of matches, so they'll be coming along. You might be able to see him on the video. Okay, but thanks for asking, Paul, and hope to see you again soon. Okay, right, lads. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one, and I must apologise for all those gate crashers who come on here. I have learned, obviously, there is a button here that I can actually mute them and actually take them off. So I'll be more prepared next time. I hope I haven't spoiled it for you, lads. It was upsetting me a little bit, but there's not much I can do. But I tell you what I will do. I will try and track these people down, and I will put a virus onto their connections. That's something I know how to do. So be warned. Okay, thanks, boys. See you next time.